Go for it, guy.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Greg and Nick and everyone out there.
Well, hello, Mark. Nick's out there somewhere. He's in hurricane land, I heard.
Yeah, it's a big monster storm that I think touched almost the entire state in one way or the other. Not, maybe some wind damage and electricity, but it touched everyone. And I think this is one of the things that people have to work through when they live in Florida and, Georgia, Alabama, Texas as well. It's a big one, and I hope and pray that if you're watching us and listening to us, you are safe and your family.
Yeah, likewise. It wasn't too long ago. I lived in Florida for many years, and there's nothing like being. Sometimes you can do nothing, but just buckle down and bear in with the storm. It's amazing. You look over and what was planned for that day. Oh, light bill. Well, lights are out. Uh, Control, you have none. When it really comes down to life type issues, there's just nothing you can do. Um, but
Yeah.
hope and helping one another and how people band together don't even know each other. They're doing sandbags and handing
Yeah,
out bottles of water.
it's like a great equalizer, right? Equalizer, not
Yeah,
equalizer, right? I've been watching the footage from the affected areas and photographs, still photographs by the Associated Press and a few others, and just showing the humanity of people in the face of this destructive force, and just shows you that people may think they are in control of everything, but truly they're not. I mean, they can do what they can, but in the face of nature, there's nothing you can do. Only pray and get out of the way. Pray and get out of the way. I mean, that's it. And I think we forget about this, and moments like this bring us together. And yeah, it's just incredible footage. Have you seen some footage that came from the hurricane?
I started watching as a national broadcast, Weather Channel, all these things, endless review. But I started watching last evening when I got home from work, and all the way late into the night and early in the morning. So it's past Tallahassee and all that. What I thought was amazing of all the years of tracking hurricanes, the state capital had never once been hit head on. I didn't know that, but I thought that was amazing because it's right on Big Bend. It's right on the Gulf Coast, right on the turn there. Um, the Epic Center and I think what I enjoyed the most of the bad situation is how they're over informed. They keep repeating the message, and people start following what they know is best and try to save lives. And when it comes right down to it, what's most important, Mark, is you. I want you to make it. I want my neighbor to make it, so that we can have life because you
Yeah.
have one. We have one. It's dear and it's precious and it's full of vitality and there is hope and there's encouragement that we made the storm and we'll work out everything else. But we need one another, community, individually, family, in every front. We need people to encourage and help one another, regardless of what you had planned. Is life has its own turn. So
Yeah, definitely. I've been thinking about this as well. Also been recalling, what's good about the life that we live is the little um, artifacts that we leave, like journaling. Do you journal, Greg? Do you journal like on video or written, or how do you capture what's happening so then you can look back 10, 20, 30, 50 years later?
for years when I was in Florida, I journaled. I have boxes. And then moving up here in life, marriage, and living life differently, I don't journal as much. But I will tell you this, the importance of journaling is priceless. I think my phone can capture, I do a lot of videos. I like to take a lot of pictures, do that. Until I didn't know you had to back up the pictures. And so I keep track the best that I can through pictures, through moments, but I never forget the impact of someone's experience with me. Going back and looking at journaling, there's stories there. I'm like, oh yeah, wow. If I don't write it, it's just impossible to know. I think it's amazing how throughout ancient history, what if people and all the eras and millenniums and centuries before us didn't write it down? I mean, our world is on the pillars of journaling, diary, documentation, of just writing it down. So it's very important to what you speak to. And I don't as much, but I'm starting to more. I do a daily devotional. I follow that and I put it on the shelf. I go one to another. So that's a type of journal.
Yeah. You know what I've been thinking? We here at Art of Encouragement are thinking of ways how we can expand and evolve. And I think a journal of encouragement can work with us, something we can offer to our audience, to the people that follow us, that work with us. It's just a reminder because
Oh,
journal, there's ways that you can do it. It's such a simple thing, but it's so powerful. It allows you to understand where you came from, or at least get a glimpse into your mental state at a particular point in time, so you can learn, so you can teach others. I have had some unpleasant experiences where somebody, I teach different classes, like improv classes, communication classes, and I have had instances, cases where somebody would come in and tell me how to teach my class or how to run my class, and like this or the other, without having any input or understanding where it's from. And that was really hurtful to me and was really set me back, because I am very much a generous person. I want to invite everyone. I want everyone to experience it. But when somebody trying to tell you, lecture you, without first establishing understanding, I think it's a journey to nowhere. And I wanted to share that with you and with Nick and with everyone, that my generous given nature has encountered this resistance, which is very unpleasant.
it's funny you should say that. I and going along my minister training, various different people come along. There's classes I got to take and things I have to perform. Before I knew they were going to offer me a local license, um, I was just out passionate, speaking in public, secular events, doing all kind of things in my little city, and getting involved 100% as much as I could. They noticed that. They took uh, the initiative to say, hey, let me give you the minister's license. Here's how it goes. Well, first of all, I didn't think I was ever the guy. I mean, I want to be. I'm like, what? Really? You see me the way I don't see. But what I failed to do is to ask expectations exactly. What do you exactly want me to do? I'll just go do what you do. So year one went by. At the end of year one, I got my senior pastor, great guy, I love him, all my pastors. And what can I do? They said, well, we think you should do this. We never made a phone call, and I'm just to go out and fill in for area pastors. He let them know. But they just started calling, hey, do you know anybody that can fill in for me? And it's been that way for over 2.5 years, all the way up to the last three this past weekend, two at one church, Wednesday night, a little revival, and it's just taking a life of its own, and you walk through it. But in between that time, I was out of my emotional mind in worry and in self-esteem, and then am I doing enough? Am I doing it right? It was the simplest thing in the world because we didn't communicate, I didn't ask, and I didn't write down. When we finally wrote it down, everything we put on paper I had already done. So communication, whether it be in training, uh, journaling, as you're saying, to bring people along to see where you're at. I was hurt and I thought being left alone is rejection. I found out that's just how freelance and how easy and how trusting and how believing and how encouraging they were to me. Hey, that guy right there, he's got it. And I thought they were setting me aside. Isn't that
Mm,
terrible? Isn't
yeah.
that terrible? And it's right here. It's between here and here. It wasn't anywhere out here. But when I went to ask, oh, no, you're great. Really? No.
Yeah. That's so interesting, right? We let ourselves suffer in silence because we're too afraid to share and, be vulnerable. This is what this show is all about. It's about three gentlemen with guests coming through to share vulnerabilities and help each other because I know a lot of people see um, in us, they see themselves in us. They may not ask it, they may not verbalize it. Also, wanted to ask you, this is another topic that came up this week is standing up for yourself. Standing up for yourself, make sure that people don't take advantage of you or try to, how, jokes, but they're really hurtful, or they are disguised as jokes, but they're really just an attack, or, just some insults. So how do you handle this with everything that you know and everything that you've been through and what you have learned?
Crisis to crisis, it can be in my mind until I'm vulnerable to who I am. I came from the life that I lived and to where I'm at. I ask, they invite me in. I don't push. But once I get in and I start working around and I'm mean, at some point I've encountered this. Um, oh, hey, do they know your next felon yet? They will soon. Walk by. I'm at a Bible college conference, people from all over the state there. I'm going into a big seminar that they've supported and partially paid, and for a token, I get to stay on campus and all that. And that was in the parking lot with the cars coming in. And I took about 3 steps. I stood there and I looked at the tree. And I remember sitting inside of one of the prisons in Florida, right by where the hurricane in Big Bend went through today. And I remember looking up one day and asking God, could you use my life no matter how long I'm here? And that was 15 years ago. I had already had 12 years in with a never ending day. And the empowerment I got from that moment of reflection, my person stood up for myself. I am who I am. And I walked in there, I straightened the shoulders out. And when it was break time, I went around over 2 days, and everyone in our district had to at least one time face to face shake the hand and talk to people and tell them who I am. I'm over here, and I want you to know something. I'm so thrilled about being here. You're doing a good job. Where's your church? Where you just? Well, I want to be a district pastor soon. I hope. I want to be an evangelist, and whispered in the air. You probably don't know this, but I'm not to be here. I had a life sentence, a culmination of a life sentence. I'm here today. It's only been 5 years. Does it show? No, I want to talk to you. Throughout the thing, the last 4 meetings I've gotten has come from district higher ups and my local pastor. The network he set forward because they invited me in. I remember, why am I invited here? Not what someone lovingly said. It was a girl, the pretty girl. They loved me. They said that. And I took the step. Forget what they say, meant, whatever. It shouldn't have hurt my feelings because I am who I am. And at the end of it, just walk around and introduce and bridging that. I'm out telling, and I was asked specifically these last 2 meetings to come tell the story that you have, and then out of the crowd, that crisis of a family whose son's in jail, goes to sentencing soon, to comfort them. There's hope. And the next one, the pastor got up after I was done. He said, that older crowd, this is proof that in our area, out in the streets, people like Greg exist. We need to go find them. He used me as a bridging intentionally because we have something in the room because we're in a room, whoever you are, man, woman, young, old, whoever you are, whatever you bring to the room, let it be seen on the table. Not for a feature piece, it's not the centerpiece, but be sure to stand up for yourself and let them know you're at the table. Someone will come by the buffet and like that and put you on the, and that's humbling, but really not, because when I reflect where I was and where I am, have another cup of coffee. Go for it, Mark.
Yes, I think I would like to join you in the coffee department, having my own sip. It's true. It's true. I think it's there's always going to be people who want to push our buttons. And could be jealousy, could be anger, could be something is missing. We're not responsible for them. We're not. We're not responsible for their feelings or for their lack of empathy, but it is hurtful. And I think it can set us back if we allow it. So I invite everyone, if you're watching us, if you're listening to us, if somebody has hurt you, or you've been hurt, or you've been misunderstood, reach out, tell your story, share with us. And how did you overcome it? Are you still stuck? And maybe you need a way out. Maybe you need some help, maybe somebody to listen to you. I think this is what we are, right? I mean, we're here to help. This is the way I see this show, as helping people.
And our world, before you and I were born, they have anonymity groups. They started off with the classic old Alcoholics Anonymous. That's drugs, that's alcohol, Overeaters Anonymous, and every kind of special, overcoming cancer, living with the shame, losing somebody at war. Everybody, if you think about all the specialty groups in the world where humans are broken, they have a specialty group. War vets, or people that lost a parent, or orphans, or people that came out of being trafficked, and all the good or horrible things. It's human nature to heal with someone broken like you, and you come along to share. You'll find your identity again. You are who you are. Something may have happened in your life or to you, or you made a bad choice, but we cling that way. That's how we are. And the hardest thing to do is to be vulnerable in a room. Here in the Art of Encouragement, get on the chat line, send us a text. We can talk about it and do it without mentioning you, or you can come on as a guest, and we have many lined up and going forward and encouraging things and building a business and writing a book, which is the art and crafts of you two gentlemen, or just coming from, you think you don't belong in the universe, for my world will prove to you by being included in the conversation that you have a safe place, you matter, the world is different without you. Your light is brighter in your corner because you're there. And people just need to be, you need to hear that. And you said early in the show that people see us in themselves. And usually that's usually what you get back. Self-reflection. If someone gives you a little bit of a bark, or snarky talk, or sarcastic, they have that flaw in themselves, and they're kind of reflecting that too. And I'm not a psychologist. It's just our behaviors is how we are. But there is hope, and hope always is forward because you were doing something about it now by encouraging each other, like your suit coat.
The suit coat is how should
Well
I
traveled.
about 13 years. 13 years still fits.
It looks great.
It's good. When I was buying this at the store, like the woman said, "Wow, this is such a good coat." I said, "Yeah, I know, it's so good." And I have many pictures with it. It still fits. It's like well worn. It's like this. It's a good fabric. I'm very happy. Thank you for noticing, Greg. I'm trying to put on a nice presentation for the show. So let's go. Final thoughts. Nick is our dear co-host. He is not with us this morning, but he will be rejoining us next time. And but he's there in the background, making sure that we have a good show. So want to thank Nick for bringing us together. Always being one of our great teammates. And any final thoughts, Greg? Let's before we end.
I would say this, going forward into the week, whether it's a hurricane in your life one physically in Florida. Find a safe place for you. You have to make it today. You hurt, you feel bad, may physically be bad. If it's people that we know going through physical things, have a great day at physical therapy. Because always through any injury, I felt better. I stretched, I hurt a little bit, but at the end of the day of the physical therapy, I rested well and my healing became quicker. So engage in your safe place. Number two, you matter. And people say that, but I want to tell you, as a guy that have failed at everything, I feel failure is only the next thing that I can work past. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. How many times does an Olympian fall down before he wins the gold medal? So just get up, be encouraged, get up, have hope, and know that we care about you. We do. We don't have to know you. I can tell you I love you because if the world could tell you it hates you, you don't have to qualify me. I want you to win. I want to help.
Absolutely. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Reach out to us. Let us know about your stories of encouragement. And also, if you feeling that you need some additional support, we're here to help. And we will see you next week. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Greg.
Be
And
safe. Love you, man. Bye.